Good morning, it's Kelly Nash, and usually here for your morning dose of infotainment. We give you the info and we do it in an entertaining way. Going to be a little light on the tainment portion this morning because the info is so serious. And it's the story that the whole world is talking about, watching closely. I'm talking about, of course, Israel and Iran, and what role is the United States playing in this conflict? We're definitely playing a role in the conflict. Donald Trump started ramping up the pressure more yesterday when he announced, if I was in Tehran, I'd get the hell out of Tehran. And if you were watching Fox News, Newsmax, or on social media last night, you saw videos of chaos as 10 million people live in Tehran, and the vast majority of them seem to want to get out right now because they don't want to see what happens next. They want to be gone from that. At the same time, you've got Pete Hegseth, Secretary of Defense, going on Fox News talking with Jesse Waters and saying this.
What you're watching in real time is peace through strength and America first in pursuit of a peace deal. And we certainly hope that's what happens here. And America first means we're going to defend American personnel and American interests. So when you see jets and you see air defense assets and counter UAS assets, that's because my job as the Secretary of Defense is to ensure that our people are safe and that we're strong so that we can set the conditions for a deal. And President Trump's made it clear it's on the table. The question is whether Iran will take it.
So the Secretary of Defense confirms we are rattling our sabers in the Middle East. We are letting them know not only are we there, we're sending in more personnel. And if you touch any of them, there'll be hell to pay for that. So that makes a lot of people nervous. People like me. I'm in the camp that I think a lot of you are in. One of the main reasons we wanted Donald Trump as the president is because he is the peace president. That's what he ran on. I can end wars. We don't want wars. What we want is peace. The only way to get peace is through strength. Pete Hegseth says that's what we're seeing right now, is we're going to get peace through strength. We heard yesterday late that Donald Trump said, when I get back from the G7, I want the National Security Council meeting in the Situation Room. Just that information alone makes people nervous. Then at 1:15 this morning, Donald Trump puts on Truth Social, publicity-seeking President Emmanuel Macron of France has mistakenly said that I left the G7 summit in Canada to go back to D.C. to work on a quote-unquote ceasefire between Israel and Iran. Wrong. He has no idea why I'm now on my way to Washington, but it certainly has nothing to do with a ceasefire. Much bigger than that, whether purposely or not. Emmanuel always gets it wrong. Stay tuned. Of course, he's got to take a shot at Macron. You can't even say the word Macron without Trump taking a jab at him. But the point being here, when he says, I'm not working on a ceasefire, I believe, now this is my interpretation of that. We've already had ceasefires. For years, we've allowed UN inspections of these places where our intelligence says that Iran is developing nuclear weapons. They're not developing nuclear energy. The way they're developing it is you can see that they're developing, or they're trying to build nuclear missiles. We don't want the ceasefire. I think that the deal is that we allow the UN inspectors to go wherever they want, because in the past they've been led around to the buildings that they had been identified. And by the time the UN inspectors get there, all the stuff is gone. They report back, there's nothing here. They get led out of the country. And then we watch from our satellites, we see the trucks bringing back the centrifuges and all this other stuff that they need to make the nuclear weapons. So I think that now they're going to go wherever they want to go. We are going to watch you destroy your own capabilities. We're going to watch you do that. On top of it, the inspectors are not leaving for the foreseeable future, because Iran keeps saying, I shouldn't say Iran, the leadership of Iran, the Ayatollah and the radical mullahs are saying death to Israel. And for all of you who keep saying this is not our war, they do say death to America. We are the big Satan, in case you forgot that. They want you and your family dead. Imagine if you were locked in a room with a some guy sitting there on the floor who's saying, I want to kill you and your whole family. And you and your whole family are in there going, bro, relax. And then on top of it, he starts building a weapon. He's building a gun. And you're saying, hey, stop making the gun. And every now and again, he puts the gun behind his back and he says, what are you talking about? I'm not making a gun. Relax. Oh, but I can't wait to kill you. And then he pulls the gun back out and he starts making it again. At some point, you got to knock the gun out of his hands. A nuclear war, we're all in it. A nuclear war affects the whole world. It affects food supplies for everybody. It kills hundreds of millions of people, not just a couple of 100,000. And I don't want to trivialize a couple of 100,000, but you're talking about hundreds of millions of lives are in the balance here. And what we're hearing on the ground is that the people of Iran, many of them, do not like their own leadership. They would like regime change. We're not in the regime change business, not under Donald Trump. We've done it many times. We've done it in Iran. It works out poorly for us when we do the regime change. I think what Donald Trump is saying is we're going to keep ramping up the pressure, and either the Ayatollah is going to fall in line or his own people are going to take him out. That's what we would like to see happen. And then his own people will then replace the leadership with the people that they want. That's what we want to see here. And the fact that, again, we've got sources saying that Israel told him the Ayatollah is trying to kill you. Do you want us to take him out? And Trump said no, meaning I could have had you killed, but I didn't. And we're ramping up the pressure on your own people. Their lives are miserable under you. I think that the Ayatollah has to come to a deal. In order for them to stay in power, they can't have all of their citizenry turn against them and their own military turn against them, which is what it seems to be the way Trump is playing this. That's what the final result will be. If we keep sanctioning you and we keep allowing Israel to take out parts of your nuclear program and parts of your leadership, eventually the people are going to be so ticked off that they have to take you out themselves. If you want to survive, if you want death to Israel and Iran, that's great. You're not going to do it with a nuclear weapon. That's the bottom line. You don't have the cards, as Trump would say. We have the cards. We're praying that we don't have to play those cards.